1 week to go on the Dakar before the finish line on the shores of the Lac Rose, more of Mauritania, before entering Black Africa. 7 stages to go in the Euro-Milieuish Dakar 2006. But before heading further south, the competitors enjoyed a well-deserved rest day in Nouakchott. Longest stage of the rally, a total of 874 kilometers, including the longest special, close to 600 Ks, heading from Nouakchott to Kiffa. Monday, the 9th of January, the Dakar suffered a very sad loss. Late in the morning, Andy Caldecott died instantly after crashing. The Australian was 41 years of age. At 11:57, as Etienne Lapine, race director, we were informed of the death of Andy Caldecott. He fell 250 kilometers into the stage and appears to have died instantly. An extremely sad moment on the Kiffa bivouac. The Dakar family had lost one of its members. A terrible moment for the KTM Repsol boss, Jordi Alcaron. It's a tough moment for us, says Mark Coma. The best thing we can do now is to carry on to Dakar and try and win the Dakar for Andy. A few hours before, the bikers had taken off in the reverse order of the previous special, like stage 7. Mark Coma suffered navigational problems on his way to Kiffa, but still remained a comfortable overall leader. And the smartest of them all was to be title holder Cyril Depre, slowly recovering from his shoulder and wrist injuries. The Frenchman proved to be the best of the navigators. Meanwhile, Isidre Esteve suffered a real nightmare of a day. Trouble in the sand for the Spaniard, then a crash, damaging his KTM and himself. But he carried on, helped out my teammate, David Casteux. He then was to fall again. And together with his support rider, they tried to carry on, but it was just too difficult. Casteux talking to the organization, saying that he's going to take care of his teammates. Well, Esteve was finally to quit the race, airlifted to a close-by hospital. And the end of the adventure for the Spaniards. The car race was just as eventful. A big crash for stage 8 winner Thierry Magnaldi, destroying the front part of his buggy. Time loss for the Frenchman, 1 hour, 15 minutes. Jutta Kleinschmidt, still hoping to win a special on this Dakar, struggled in the sand.
Crazy. Yeah. Oh la la. Yeah, I don't like it, but we have to go through now. Yeah. Huh? We have to fucking help. Oh. Tire pressure is okay? Yes, it is okay.
But the big winners of the day were without the slightest doubt the Mitsubishis. Luc Alphand lost time, but his goal was to stay as close as possible of teammate and overall leader Stéphane Péterancel. He did his best all the way to Kiffa, but still lost 8 minutes 44. This time, stuck in the soft sand. Time to get out of the car for the former Alpine Skiing World Cup winner. But again, Peter Hansel, his teammate, proved to be the master of the Dakar. Stopping in the dunes certainly wasn't a problem for the double title holder. And aggressive driving from the former biker. Even the best have to use their shovels on Mauritanian soil. Peter Hansel then went to capture a 51st stage success. 33 on a bike and now 18 on 4 wheels. Fantastic stuff from the overall leader, who increases his lead on teammate Luc Alphand. And while Peter and co were enjoying some rest at the bivouac, others were still in the dunes. Burkina Faso's Michel Nanga struggled on his KTM. He was forced to quit the race. This too difficult. In the darkness and the soft sand, former alpine skier Mélanie Chuchet lost her shovel.
La caméra. Les plaques. Vous voyez comme c'est dur là. Une autre plaque.
Well, maybe the best thing to do was just to lie down and sleep. Stage 10 took the competitors from Kifa to Kais. The rally left Mauritania heading to its fifth country, Mali, shorter special, 283 Ks. But no race for the bikers after a minute of silence at the bivouac in the morning in memory of Andy Caldecott. The riders covered the 333 kilometers of the day's stage as a liaison. After flying to success and taking a serious option for a third final victory in the dunes of Mauritania, it worked out perfectly well on the paths of Mali for cowboy Peter Hansel. Finishing third on the day, despite hitting a tree, the Frenchman increased his overall lead, now over 40 minutes. 40 minutes on last year's runner-up, Luc Alphand, who hit a tree at kilometer 218, damaging his front right wheel. Time lost, 36 minutes on the day's winner, and all hopes of final victory fading away. Luc Alphand hoping he can still fight for a podium spot. Well, the day's special was to go to Carlos Sainz. The dunes of Mauritania seem to have been forgotten on faster tracks. The Spaniard was again the fastest. Mechanical worries on the Schlesser Ford buggy of Thierry Magnazzi, a rear hub seriously damaged. He had to wait.
Donc la roue elle a commencé un petit peu. J'ai senti que j'avais plus de frein, quoique la pédale est devenue molle.
Started with brake problems and now vibrations. Meanwhile, teammate and boss Jean-Louis Schlesser settled with fifth position today.
Bon. Il y a deux à 100 mètres, équerre à droite, à 100 mètres, cap, équerre à droite, cap, pas de cap.
Alors c'est ça l'équerre?
J'ai pas de cap.
On passe dans le village?
Non.
Bon, ouais. Là t'es en train de me faire faire une connerie là.
T'as pas de cap? J'ai pas de cap.
In the truck race, Hans Stacey flew to a second stage success, the first of a triumphant run for the Dutchman in his MAN truck. The rally remains in Mali and heads southeast to the capital Bamako, 231 kilometers of special, splendid settings, still narrow tracks.
And it goes like this, goes like this, goes like this. Goes like this, goes like this, goes like this.
The sun rise on the Dakar. and Italy's Giovanni Sala. Fanny explaining, well, he has no time to speak now. Be focused on the race. Well, back to racing it was for the bikers. And back to a normal starting order, unlike the previous specials. More and more villages to be crossed for the competitors of the Dakar. And a very bad day for Frenchman Cyril Després. He lost a lot of time on overall leader Mark Comer, over 10 minutes. The reason? Bad navigation in the opening part of the stage. Well, Mark Comer enjoyed a day alone, and a fine day it was for the Spaniards. Only missing out on victory for over a minute. Because the day's hero was to be local rider Alain Duclos, riding at home and heading to his native town, Bamako.
Et on remet les gaz. Donc position de freinage, si regardez beaucoup plus loin. Voilà, attention, il doit y avoir du pêche-pêche là-bas, je vais voir ça un peu.
A lesson of riding for the KTM rider. Made the best of his knowledge of paths he used to ride on.
Mon père a fait le voyage de France pour être à Bamako aussi, donc toute la famille est là. Et vis-à-vis de tous les gens qui m'ont aidé, je pense que c'est le plus beau cadeau que je puisse leur faire.
Best gift I could offer them. First ever success for Duclos. The race in the cars and the fast tracks of Mali. Tracks that Janil de Villiers certainly enjoys. This is where the South African captured his first African special last year. There are quite a few close calls for the South African. De Villiers eventually beat teammate Bruno Sabi to stage victory by over 5 minutes. And on his way to success, De Villiers saw Jutta Kleinschmidt on the side of the road, stopped with mechanical problems after hitting a tree. German seriously damaged her front right wheel and was forced to pull out of the rally. Title holder Stéphane Pété-Ancel was hoping to take it nice and easily and avoid problems, but the Frenchman got lost at kilometer 100. Like Carlos Souza, he ended up behind the Portuguese, stuck in his dust all the way to the finish, losing 20 minutes on the day and a serious argument after the finish line. Carlos drove 100 kilometers behind. He didn't listen. He was just not driving fast enough. A newcomer last year, Gerlin Chichrit, is impressing in his BMW X3. He captured 5th spot, his best ever performance. It was a different story.
50 k's to go, you say?
Ralphie Cox.
Less. 50. All that work today, and fucking gone. You can't win,
South African didn't enjoy his day. He still finished 17th, losing over 12 minutes. Looking better and better, Eric Vigourou in his Chevy Pro Truck, 8th on the day. Narrow tracks for the cars, very narrow for the trucks, and when a big one crashes on its side, well, all the competitors behind just couldn't go through. The race was neutralized, except for those in front. And while Hans Stacey continued his winning run, Vladimir Chagin remained a comfortable leader. Stage 12, heading to a new country, Guinea. The last time the rally came here was back in 1996. 4 stages to go before a possible trouble for Stéphane Pété-Ancel. Well, 4, too many. Kilometer 278 of the special. The title holder hit a tree and damaged his rear left wheel. Serious repairs and big time loss. He tried to fix things out. His co-driver. Well, there was a sharp bend, explains Peter Hansel. We hit a tree and we ripped off a rear wheel. Peter Hansel crossed the finish line 3 hours and 16 minutes after his teammate Luc Alphand. Today's victory going to the Frenchman. He certainly wasn't expecting to capture the overall lead in l'Abbé. And this time Alphand takes a serious option. the final overall victory. His compatriot Gerlin Chicherit, also a former world-class skier, captured second spot, improving his best performances day after day. The winner of the previous stage, Daniel de Villiers, started in first position. He finished third. His satisfaction, second spot overall, 20 minutes behind Alphonse. Interesting indeed. Tomorrow we'll start ahead of de Villiers, so he will have to catch me and overtake me. It'll be hard for him.
plus difficile, c'est les routes qui sont vraiment étroites et très piégeux et très cassants.
Probably we underestimated these stages in Africa, here in Guinea and in Mali, because they're very, very difficult, very narrow, a lot of tree stumps and rocks, and I think it's much more tricky than we thought.
To the bike race, and Chris Blaze, maybe the man of the future. Only his second Dakar at 25 years of age, the US biker captured third spot of the special. Mark Coma continued his road to glory. Smooth riding for the Catalan. He finished second on the day. And with 3 days to go, he's getting closer to a first ever triumph. Well, it was to be Cyril Depray's day on this 12th stage, a 14th special success for the Frenchman, his fourth this year. And as expected, on the way to l'Abbé, the bikers were to cope with river crossing. Time for a mud bath. But one had to be careful not to remain stranded. Carlo De Gavado lost a lot of time because of water in his engine. And so to stage 13, entering the last country, Senegal, heading from l'Abbé to Tambacounda. And tragedy on the road of the Dakar. When he was 25, a young boy was hit by a car and died during his transfer by medical helicopter. Thousands and thousands of locals cheering the Dakar competitors all the way to Senegal. Newcomer Jonas Street impressed by clinching second spot of the special. 5 minutes were eventually taken off his final time for stopping to help Jean de Azevedo, injured and out of the race. A sad day as well for the best lady biker, Ludivine Puy. She broke her pelvis when avoiding a child. Meanwhile, Hungary's Ekos Varga continued his shaky road to Dakar. For Giovanni Sala, it was to be a first win this year, the 9th of his career. He completed his third spot overall, and that was his main goal. With 3 stages to go, Luc Alphonse needed to avoid trouble, but also had to keep an eye out on his closest rival, Daniel de Villiers, while the Frenchman enjoyed a fine day. Not only did he beat the South African, he also captured his second special win. De Villiers struggled with navigation, failing to find a waypoint, losing time overall. Penultimate stage of the Dakar, and still enough kilometers for upsets. The competitors head all the way to final destination, Dakar. And a nightmare of a stage for Cyril Deprez. Kilometer 160, the winner of last year's event, went on a bad direction. Furious he was at the road foot, trying left, trying right. And almost all followed him. Chaos on the Dakar. Stopping to discuss, still looking for the right track. First, one man, then a small group that became bigger and bigger, closer. 30 bikers, including the big names, looking for the right way to go. The time lost between 30 and 40 minutes. Alex Winters suffered a crash on his way to the finish line. Meanwhile, the men were enjoying their journey to Dakar. Fittigny and Coma, the Frenchman, captured his first win this year, got into the finish line with a tiny 33-second advantage on the Spaniards. Coma finished second, but his new overall lead on Desprez was huge. 1 hour, 13 minutes.
Por suerte hemos podido seguir delante.
Difficult day with a lot of difficult
Hemos encontrado
navigation.
una ruta gracias al equipo. Yo y Jordi Alonso estaban trabajando conmigo y me han ayudado mucho.
Well, like the bikes, the cars had trouble with navigation. Alphonse, followed by De Villiers, both looking for the right way to go.
But I think you know when we...
Where's there is the main pit.
Here.
On the other side.
Yes, let's call it some...
Yes, this pit. This side of the...
Overall leader, Alphonse even stopped to ask a biker, but smartly kept an eye out on his closest rival, only 20 minutes of it. He just got lost seriously, but we're with Volkswagen. In front, and De Villiers behind, so that's okay.
De Villiers derrière nous.
Nani Roma was the fastest at CP1, but it also went all wrong all the way to the finish. And the day's winner was to be Gerlin Chicherit, a first ever victory for the Frenchman in his BMW X3. So to the final stage of this 28th Dakar around the Lac Rose. And smiles on the faces of all. At last, the Lac Rose. Congratulations time between Coma and Roma and between car winner, Luc Alphonse. And off they went to the last 31 kilometers, no time special today due to the recent bad event that shook the Dakar. And celebration time for Mark Coma, thanking his KTM Repsol teammate, his wife, and also dedicating this victory to Andy Caldecott, his teammate, who passed away just a few days ago. And a traditional handshake between the title holder, Desprez, and the new champion. At last, podium time for the Catalan, who wins his first ever Dakar. Cyril Desprez finishing second, while Giovanni Sala is well satisfied by his third spot. The overall rankings and a huge lead for Coma ahead of Desprez. Over an hour, Sala third, Chris Blaze fourth for his second Dakar. Will Valdetta wants to be in the top five, he's sixth. Thumbs up to Helder Rodriguez, a newcomer, who's ninth. Well, time for a lap of honour for Luc Alphonse, the 2006 Dakar winner, and more glories for Mitsubishi. A sixth consecutive win for the Japanese brand. And just 100 meters to go. And joy on the face of the former skier.
Oh, merci. Tu vas faire une belle balade. Ouais.
4 out of 5 for Volkswagen, while the German brands who are hoping for victory, they'll be satisfied by de Villier's second spot, 5-stage wins on this 28th edition. 1 to de Villier's 4 for Carlos Sainz. All 3 Schlesser buggies made it to the finish, with 3 special successes, 2 for Magnaldi and 1 for Voss, Jean-Louis Schlesser. Carlos Souza was secretly hoping to make it on the podium. He finished 7th. And only a second appearance on the Dakar for Guerlain Chichrit, a stage win and the best of the BMW boys. He was 9th overall. Jean-Jacques Raté won the prestigious production category. And it was then time for the podium ceremony and a presidential welcome for Luc Alphand. Big smile as well on the faces of Gilles de Villiers and co-driver Tina Turner. And finally, congratulations to Florence Bourgnon and co-driver Corentin Quignou, the only lady crew to make it to the finish line. In the overall standings, Luc Alphand finishes the rally with a 17-minute lead on de Villiers. Roma 3rd, Peter Hansel only 4th. In 9th position, Guerlain Chichrit, certainly very satisfied. In the truck race, Vladimir Chagin conquered his 5th Dakar crown. He'll be hoping to do just as well in Dakar number 29.
A brave man takes the road less traveled. A true adventurer makes a road where none exists. The Dakar Rally, only on Supersport. Proudly sponsored by Total Quartz Lubricants.